Guys, you see love, love is a beautiful thing. Yes, so sometimes when people experience what I call it temptation or trials in their love life, sometimes it will look like, oh, this kind of their love, I don't want it, this, that. Sometimes, let me tell you, true love hurts. Yes, sometimes true love hurts, but some people will not believe with this my theory. But all the same, we all know that the king and the queen, they love themselves so dearly. Despite the temptation that is coming in between their love, someone like Ebony in their life, and all of that. Because anybody who have Ebony fighting against his or her love life have a serious person fighting it, because she doesn't give up. You guys have heard how she was betrothed to the king, and how they said at some point when it was looking like the king will not make it, she left him to go and be with another man and have a daughter for the man. And when the king finally made it, she came back, even when the king refused to marry her, because she was there when the king married Wurola. The king did not marry her. She was still there. The only thing she was busy doing is to make sure that the marriage does not work. uh And she was still there when the king went and married Queen Naomi. And yet the king did not marry. She was there. The king started doing marriage bonanza and married the first, the second. I think she's the third or so, or the fourth, you know. So to tell you that the king refused to marry her and she was still fighting, not until she ended up being one of the wives. So anybody that have Ebony as an enemy, seriously have one, So from what we are hearing right now, they said the king who entered seclusion few days ago, what do they call it? There is this festival. What is that? I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of the festival. You know, is about to happen. And before that happens, Kabiyesi used to enter into seclusion for 7 days. And within this seclusion period, before the seclusion period, there are certain rituals that was be done. And the said Queen Naomi was in the palace that day, even though she wasn't the one that performed the rituals. It was Adetutu who performed those rituals for the king before he entered into seclusion. Something that made Ebony to cry and started attacking uh, Adetutu, telling Adetutu that this is going to be your last ritual in this palace, this, that. You think you can come from anywhere and take my position. So, but that does not stop Adetutu from doing what the king wanted her to do. So they said before the king entered into seclusion, they said she hold his wife, Queen Naomi, very closely and assured her that all this battle is going to be over. That he is going to make sure that before this year runs out, they are going to be together and be seen together in public again. They said she told Queen Naomi that, you see that Ofarende ritual must be done before or by November 29. That even though the enemies are fighting it, because they said the day they fixed that date, that Ebony's family was not taking it. They were like, that is why the king wanted their daughter out of the way. Because despite everything they come up with, the pregnancy, the fainting, the miscarriage and everything, it did not stop the king from forging ahead with the Ituase. They said the king have even summoned her family to come so that they will fix another date for the second action of that Ituase. Something that have made them to be quarreling the king, calling him, saying that everything he is doing, he is only doing it to favor his jewel, which is his original wife, So with all of this drama, they said before the king entered into seclusion, it was a lovely and emotional moment for the two of them, because you know that one thing, no matter who you are, no matter uh, how strong you are, in as much as he is a king, that does not mean that he is not human being. They said he was emotional while he was telling Queen Naomi that it was all his fault, even though Queen Naomi overreacted, but it was his fault. That assuming he was there for her as a husband and as a husband, because the king was there as a king. Yes, because the role of a king in a woman's life, assuming you have a husband who is also a king, just like in their case right now, the king is supposed to play like a king as well as a husband. And that is the only way he will be able to protect his marriage and the lady in question, you know. But because everything is about king, 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 they said the king told QueenNaomi that, look, in this time around, by the time they are done with this Ofarende ritual by November 29, that he is going to be a husband and he and her best friend, you know, that anything within his power to make sure that he protects their marriage, he protects her as a person in that palace, that he is going to do it. He's no longer going to allow some elders, some all these witchy elders who flies by the day, by the night, to come between their marriage again, because these are the people who contributed in one way or the other, who worked with Ebony just to make sure that she did not last long in that palace. And because the king was busy doing king, he forgot the part that, oh, I have to play the role of a husband in her life in order to protect this marriage and to keep her for myself, you know. So, but right now, I believe he have realized his own mistakes. And the queen, on the other hand, have also realized her own mistake, because nobody is perfect in this situation. Yes, some people overreacted, just like the way she went on social media and all of that, but it is something who pushed her into it. And I believe if the king have been there to protect her, to know that she is surrounded with a lot of enemies, someone like Ebony, some elders who sees her prayer as a problem to them, including the king's sisters at the moment, because they said that period the sisters were working with Ebony, and some of these Oloris today, why they are still side chicks, so because of what they are getting from them, because they said that period someone like Igbi will enter the palace, give them a lot of gifts, you know, all this material, because we all know that Igbi is selling this less material. She will just give them expensive less material, and they will start dancing to her tune and all of that, thereby frustrating QueenNaomi, so that she will leave the marriage for them to enter, of which at the end of the day they succeeded. But today I think they are regretting it, because they have seen that their brother is not happy and complete without the wife. So they said the king made a promise to her that by November 29, that Ofarende ritual will happen and they are going to be back together again. That is what we are hearing, if the information is true. But don't forget that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media. Shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them. Okay, thanks for watching. Do well to subscribe to my channel, follow my page, and share this video. I love you guys. Bye. See you.